The Charlotte Hornets are the hottest team in the NBA right now. And I hesitated to make this video for you guys solely because I wanted to see if this hype around them would end up fading. And probably a lot like you guys, you don't believe it. However, they are on a 9-game win streak, and that's something that their franchise hasn't done in, I think, 27 years I saw. They do have a game tonight, the time that I'm filming this video, so that could change. They are playing the Pistons, so that probably is going to change. However, that doesn't change the fact that they are the hottest team in the NBA right now. And that doesn't usually just happen overnight. That usually happens because they made some moves, they did some things, and they set up their offense to succeed. And so what they have done so far has seemed to be working. And it looks like that this run is going to be more real than people think. The Hornets are on a 9-game win streak, as we've said, and they're starting to look like a playoff team. Now, the Hornets aren't really synonymous with the word playoffs. I know we haven't really got to see them in the playoffs because of just different things that have been going on with their organization, and LaMelo Ball has been on and off injured and whatnot. But can this team actually hold on? Usually when a team like this pops up, it's like, oh, okay, they won a few games in a row. Now let's see if they go back to normal. And it's usually just like a spike variance in the bell curve. But usually when stretches fade, it's because they're all built on some aspect like a shot variance or something. But this one feels a little bit different when you talk and look at how the Hornets have constructed their team. So far they made some moves during the trade deadline. Their offense looks really, really balanced with Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball, and then you also add Brandon Miller, who's been playing like a stud, and then you have a shooter like Knipple and you have two young big men who are really good at defense, and so that is just a recipe for success, and that's what Charlotte is showing us. So let's look at how Charlotte is thinking. And the first thing that we need to look at is the Kobe White trade. Now, the Kobe White trade matters not because of anything he's done. He actually hasn't played for him yet. However, going to get a guy like Kobe White solves Charlotte's biggest issue, and realistically, it's not really that big of an issue for him because they have guys like Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, whatever. But when LaMelo Ball sits, what's going to happen? Because LaMelo Ball is a prolific passer, really, really good. One of the best, honestly, in the NBA at passing and finding those windows. And so what are they going to do when LaMelo Ball is not on the floor? And to put this into context, the other day, LaMelo Ball went out. He headbutted his coach or something going for a ball. And he was in the game for maybe a minute. He goes out. The Hornets are up. And then the Hornets just start stalling. And then he comes back, and then their offense looks way different. And so going to get a guy like Kobe White really is going to help their secondary unit or whenever LaMelo Ball is off the floor. So they're really preparing for games that are going to be meaningful in the future and hopefully the playoffs. So playoff teams usually don't wait for problems. They address them before they happen, way before. So that's why they went to get a guy like Kobe White. The entire offense runs through LaMelo Ball. And it's not because he's got these crazy numbers or whatnot with his box score or things he's doing. LaMelo Ball is one of the most in-control players that looks out of control that you'll ever see. He really controls the game. He goes at his own pace. It's so crazy to watch him because he does all these one-legged threes or these crazy circus shots and stuff. And that's just because that's who he is. And so with LaMelo on the floor, they have a 124.1 offensive rating. Without LaMelo, they have a 111.8 offensive rating. So their team three-point percentage goes from 39.2% as a team when he's on the floor to 34% when he's off the floor. And so that's something that shows you that it's just not noise, but that's control. That's showing you that LaMelo Ball, when he's on the floor, helps the Hornets win. He's in control of the game. He's really being the point guard that they need him to be. And so the Hornets in the month of January, they had an offensive rating of 121.1. That is good for first in the NBA. And the lineup that did that wasn't that complicated. They had LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Conkanipple, Miles Bridges, and Diabate. That's a group that played 167 minutes together and had a 143 offensive rating, 166 defensive rating, and a plus 27.1 net rating. You have LaMelo Ball and Diabate pick and roll. You got the kick out to Conkanipple, who is a sniper. He's probably going to break the record for most threes by a rookie. You have Miller, who is attacking on the closeout, still a great shooter, and he's coming into his own. And then on top of that, you have to worry about Miles Bridges coming downhill at you, is going to dunk on your head. And then you got to worry about, oh, there's another shooter on their team. Oh, there's LaMelo Ball's on their team. Oh, they have a lob threat on their team. And so you're probably wondering, yeah, that's cool. Offense doesn't win championships. Defense wins championships. And that's exactly why this run is going to stick. The other reason that this feels real is because it hasn't just been their offense. It's because they've been playing defense as well. January defensive rating for the Charlotte Hornets, 109.6. That's top 5 in the NBA. And the biggest difference in their in their defensive scheme has been how disciplined they've been on defense. In the month of November, their opponent's three-point percentage was 40.2%. That's the worst in the NBA. So when you go to the month of January, so that's November, December, January. In the month of January, their opponent three-point percentage goes from 40.2 to 32.9, which is the third best. So what that means is they're holding their opponents to 32.9% of their threes being made. So that's really good. And so when teams play offense like this and they do their job defensively, you stop relying on, oh, this team's just hot, and they actually can make some noise. The next thing that I want to talk about is the biggest ceiling riser on their team, and that's Brandon Miller. I've literally been watching the Hornets the past few weeks, and he's had some injuries on and off, yet he still performs. If you look, the fool the other day had a shoulder pad thing on, and that's really what stood out to me. He has this shoulder pad thing on, and yet the next play I see this bro dunking on someone's head, and it's just like, bro, you're supposed to be injured. Look at this clip. He's still going up and dunking on people. He said that's head top. He's the type of guy that's getting Charlotte, when things are uncomfortable and stuff, he's getting Charlotte buckets. He's quietly becoming that guy. And I know they have LaMelo Ball, and yes, LaMelo Ball can do those same things, but Brandon Miller is slowly becoming that guy that's like the 1A and 1B. He's the 1B to LaMelo's 1A. That's what matters. Playoff basketball is going to be tough. You're going to have to grind out wins, and to have a guy who's already, yes, battling injuries, but he is being tough. He's playing through stuff. And when a young wing is still attacking the rim and not settling, even though he's not feeling 100%, and you add in the defense that he's playing, the length that he has, the engagement that he brings on the court, they're looking like a team that really, we've went over this, they have 5 guys that you're going to have to guard. And that's how ceilings change specifically for the Charlotte Hornets. So no, I do not think that the Hornets run is a fluke. And I do think that they might be a playoff team. I'm not going to say contender just yet. They won 9 straight games for the first time in 27 years. And they're doing something that actually looks like it's going to hold up. The offense makes sense. The defense is playing like a real defense. All the pieces are fitting together. And that's usually what a good playoff team looks like. And if you like NBA breakdowns just like this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We got more stuff coming for you guys, and I just like making these videos, so hopefully we can keep doing it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.